Welcome! So I've got something that's different to show you on my channel today. Different certainly for the content that I normally put out. I had a delivery today from Amazon, and you probably can guess what type of media or medium is in this cardboard packaging here. I've got a couple of books, but not just any books. I've got 2 graphic novels. And before I get going with the unboxing or mail opening, as it's not really a proper box, although it is cardboard, you'll have seen the thumbnail, so you'll know the subject matter of the graphic novels that I'm going to show you in a minute. I say you'll know, maybe you won't, because these books are in a series based on a TV series that not a lot of people, even my age and certainly younger, have watched. And I'm talking about The Prisoner. Now, I'm not going to stand here and go on and on for ages as to what The Prisoner is and why you should watch it. That's really a video for another day. I'll be brief. The Prisoner, it was made in 1966/67. It was an ITV series that debuted in 1967, finished in early 1968. I think the genre is best categorised as sci-fi, but it's so much more than that. It's about a man played by Patrick McGowan, who's like a secret agent type, almost like a kind of James Bond, albeit a more straight-laced version, who resigned from his post and then he's kidnapped and sent away to some mysterious island or mysterious place called the Village. And he tries to escape, and he's largely unsuccessful, and that's where I'm going to stop now because of spoilers, etc. I fell in love with this show when I was quite young, actually, thanks to my dad, really. I think it was Channel 4 who started repeating it in the early 90s. I think it must have been around 92, 93. To coincide with the 25th anniversary of it originally coming out on ITV in 1967. And he taped me some episodes and I just was hooked, and I've loved the show and I've rewatched it so many times over the last almost 30 years, because like I say, there's only 17 episodes in the whole series. It did get a remake, and I think that was 2009-ish. It was watchable, but nowhere near as good as the original. And I'm going to show you a couple of graphic novels. Now, one of them I used to own, and it's one of these things, as happens a lot when you move house a lot of times. You have to sell stuff or you lose things. So one of the graphic novels in here I am familiar with, but the other one, which I think is more of a new release, I'm not familiar with. I've never read it before. So let's get this open and I'll just give you a quick butcher's. So I was fancy treat myself to these, what with me watching the series again, and like I said, I've lost count how many times I've watched The Prisoner from start to finish. So the graphic novels I've got to show you, the first one here is Shattered Visage. This is the one that I used to have. This is like a reprinted edition. Originally it was like a 4-part DC Comics series. Then it got made into a graphic novel, and I think there was a bit of extra stuff, a little bit extra text and a couple extra pages put in. And then this version is by Titan Comics, but originally it was a DC series by Dean Mott and Mark Asworth. I don't know anything about comic writers and comic artists. I don't know if they're big names in the genre or not, to be honest. All I know is it's The Prisoner, and it's fantastic. I can tell this is a newer reprint from, I think it was 2018 this reprint came out, just by looking at the back, because it has these websites on that have reviewed it and things like that. Whereas the edition I had, I think was from like the late 80s or something like that. Interestingly, this comic series, this novel, this graphic novel, is set 20 years after the events of the original TV series. So if you take the original series to be set at the time it was broadcast, i.e. 67, 68, then this comic is going to be set around 87, 88, and it was probably about 1988 when it first was released as a 4-part series by DC. Just having a flick through. What I will do is I'm going to put a few pages up just to show you the artwork and everything, and then you can let me know in the comments what you reckon to it. I've not done that for the second graphic novel. I've deliberately avoided looking for pages online of the second one, which is called The Uncertainty Machine, because I've never read that and I was worried that I might see something that was a bit too much of a spoiler. And obviously, you probably won't mind, because the majority of people probably aren't going to be watching this and worrying about spoilers, but for me personally, because I'm such a big Prisoner fan, I was a little bit worried about looking for pages from The Uncertainty Machine. But I'll show you some of the Shattered Visage pages now. What do you reckon? I think the artwork's great. I'm not a comics guy, so I can't say, oh, this is exceptional, or someone else would have done it better. I know there's a lot of massive comic fans out there, some of whom are subscribers to this channel, and comics is just something that I don't cover. I really love this graphic novel. I was sad that I think I sold my old copy, but this has been in print for a long time, and like I say, it's got a reprint from Titan Comics. So I knew that when I wanted to get it again, it'd be easy enough to, and I've got a brand new copy on Amazon. Really, really recommend that, but I would recommend starting the Prisoner TV series first. Right, so we'll have a little look, not too much at this. Now, this is a lot thinner than Shattered Visage, this one, The Uncertainty Machine. It's by Peter Milligan, Colin Lorimer, Joanna Lafuente, and Simon Boland. This one, apparently, is a little bit misleading because you can see Patrick McGowan, or Number 6, as he was on the show, on the cover, but apparently he doesn't feature in the comics. I mean, obviously it's a selling point, you know, if they get McGowan's image on it, then more people are going to be interested, but there's so many other motifs within The Prisoner, I don't see why they couldn't have used some of them, so it's a little bit of a misleading cover, this. But I'm not worried about that. I think this one was actually written and produced in 2018. I'm not sure it came out as a series first. I don't think it did. It probably came out as a graphic novel right from the get-go, but I'm not certain on that. Like I say, never read this before, so looking forward to this a lot. Like I say, it seems almost half the size of Shattered Visage. And I wouldn't say Shattered Visage is a difficult graphic novel to get through. It never takes me too long to read, so this one's going to be a really quick read, I would have thought. Yeah, can highly recommend that, because it's something I've already owned, and I'm glad I've got it back in, well, I say my collection, my Prisoner collection, which is a 40th anniversary Blu-ray box set. The box set contains like an episode guide and production notebook, by the way, as well as a documentary and some other little featurettes. Yeah, I've got the newer documentary Blu-ray in my mind, and I've also, and I must have shown it on the channel, even though I can't actually think about doing it, but I'm sure I did, I've got the Prisoner original soundtrack on gatefold vinyl as well. Just thought a couple of graphic novels, something nice to read, helped me get back into comics a little bit in a way. I'm really enjoying watching The Prisoner again. I always enjoy it. It's something I try and watch at least once a year, and at 17 episodes, 42, 43 minutes each, it doesn't take too long to watch the series. It is available on BritBox at the moment, by the way, The Prisoner, so if you do have access to that streaming service, then you can watch it for free. Like I said, I would love to stand here and talk about The Prisoner till the cows come home, but I suggest you go on Wikipedia and just look up the basics. Come to me with any questions or comments or anything about The Prisoner and about this video, and I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. I would love to do a series, like a 17 episode series, where I review, preferably with another Prisoner superfan like myself, I think it's something that would work better as like a double-hosted thing. But to review every single Prisoner episode in like a kind of video podcast style, but you never know. I'll maybe try and work towards that at some point, but at the moment I think that's still very much in the planning stages. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this slightly different video from me today, where I've showed you just a couple of Prisoner graphic novels from what is, in my opinion, the greatest drama, the greatest sci-fi series that's ever been made anywhere in the world. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's mind-bending, it's mind-boggling, and it's utterly addictive. Special thanks go, as always, to my subscribers and my generous patrons. I've got all my usual links down in the description text box, including my Patreon page and my Facebook group. I'm going to go now, and I'm going to probably start reading The Uncertainty Machine. Although I kind of fancy reading Shattered Visage again, just in case this even references Shattered Visage. I don't think it does. I think these two are kind of separate from one another. There's no kind of joining arc or synchronicity, but you never know. I'll probably still read Shattered Visage first. I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next graphic novel mail opening video. Cheers everyone, and be seeing ya. See ya!